people who are in a state of invasion. Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking, and this is episode number 639 of the Immigration Answer Show. I saw the 5 because there's 57 people watching already. How's everybody doing? How was your weekend? What in the hell is going on? I said last Monday, boy, did anything interesting happen over the weekend? And it did. And then this Monday, I say to you again, did anything interesting happen over the weekend? And it did. Can you believe it? Sleepy Joe, Uncle Joe, old Joe Biden, taking one for the team and stepping down. He's not going to run for re-election. It's quite the shocker. I'm sure we'll be talking some about that later. I want to welcome everybody to the show. Hina is here. Hello, Hina. Emmanuel is here. TNT to the H-Town. Haven't heard from TNT, says Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, we survived Hurricane Beryl, praying for everyone in a difficult situation. Good to hear, good to hear. Syra is here. Sam, Searing, Gabriella. J. Cruz, Hope is here, as she often is. Tyrone says, blessed Monday. Lindy is here. Big ups to all the Yardies from Rich. Bernard is watching from Germany. It's hot up in Chicago. What up, Hacking family? Hiram is here. Marvelous is here. Ali says, thanks for the great job we're doing. Ross says, roll tide is a little early for football. But I did see that when it comes to picking a vice presidential running mate for Kamala Harris, that Nick Saban, former coach of your Alabama Crimson Tide, is 251 odds to be the nominee for vice president in the Democratic Party. I thought that was funny. I also thought it was funny that asshole Joe Manchin says, yeah, can I run as a Democrat, even though I abandoned the Democratic Party, thwarted Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's efforts for the last 4 years and been running as an independent? Yeah, no, we're not going to go for you, Joe, so hit the bricks. Julian is here. Rocio's checking in from Columbus. Nurse Laura is in Seattle. Now everybody's saying hello to each other. Leslow's here. Glenn is here. Carla. Luis, H&M says hello. We got Carla here all the way from our nation's capital. Must be an exciting time to be in D.C. So Heel says hello. Gabriella. Hope says back to me hello. S. Normandy says hello from Toronto. We got Dammy here. Hello, Dammy. How you been? Hina's down on Kamala. That's interesting. Hope's in Daytona Beach. I knew she was in Florida somewhere. TM's excited for Kamala. Sleepy Joe went down for a nap. I did send money to Kamala Harris yesterday, as did my good son, Yusuf. Julian is right. A week is a long time in politics. Joe is a great president. I think Joe is good on a lot of things. I don't think he was good on Gaza, and I don't think he's been good on immigration. Dammy's right. It's been a hell of a week, all you Americans. Trump is indeed promising, as Albert points out, mass deportations. That's why we got to do everything we can to try to keep Trump from getting out of office. You know, I had great fun watching the Republicans squeal like Donald Trump on his false social network, and Stephen Miller basically had a temper tantrum on Fox News talking about this isn't fair that they get to just change candidates overnight. It's not fair. Oh, poor little Nazis. They're having a hard time. They're having a hard time with Kamala. And get ready for all the racist shit to come out. They're already claiming that she's not eligible to be president. Of course, don't forget, Donald Trump was one of the big proponents of the birther movement against President Obama. So he has a long history of racism. Carla, thank you for acknowledging my dedication to my work. I appreciate it. I guess to that end, we should probably start talking about immigration. Let's do it. Hello, Michael. How you doing? You're on mute. You're on mute, buddy. Michael, you're on mute. Can't hear you, bro. You're on mute.
On?
Now you're on. How you doing?
Okay, well, thanks for having me. I'll keep it short. Newly married. I'm a U.S. citizen. Got it. Okay. And wife is from Thailand. I'm 58. She's 48. I liked your video, liked all the videos. One in particular about the case type. Straightforward, complex, never easy. I reviewed that one, and my question is the ability to submit and use an attorney like yourself, does it speed up the process for a case that I would consider straightforward according to the words you used in the video?
I do believe that we make it go faster. I think we can get the case on file faster. I think we can put it together in the form that they're used to receiving it better. I think we can make it a more compelling case overall. So for those reasons, yes. And especially on overseas visa cases, we have teams, all they do is deal with the National Visa Center, which is where your spouse is overseas.
Overseas, that's correct. And so newly married, less than a month.
Right. So you're going to be at USCIS for about 12 to 14 months. Then you're going to be at the National Visa Center for 4 or 5 months. Then you're going to be waiting for an interview in Thailand. And I think that where our real value comes in is that second stage where we help with the National Visa Center and the embassy, because that's where I think cases really get slowed down, especially because people don't know how to work the CX system.
You've touched on the sequencing part was the next question of mine.
Okay.
Does your firm charge lump sum or hourly?
So we do flat fee, and it's $5,000. Most people pay half up front and then like $500 a month for 5 months. Or if you pay up front, you save $500, so it's $4,500 instead of $5,000.
So the part about some of the things you asked us to submit or group together, we obviously don't have those. I've been supporting her and her family for some time now. And so she doesn't work any longer. She used to. And so we're wondering about the commingling, all of those things which we don't have, which I think makes ours complex versus straightforward.
Well, you have to understand, Michael, that everyone understands that there's going to be different types of evidence if the spouse is overseas than if the spouse is in the United States. You're not going to have like a joint lease. They sort of get that, right? So I think that you're right. I mean, a 10-year age gap dealing with the embassy in Thailand is not the most easiest of things. They might give her trouble for that. Especially,
we wondered about that too.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, obviously we've had much bigger age gaps than that, but I think you'd benefit a lot from working with us. I think you'd be happy with the team that we've assembled, and I think we put you in the best position to get it approved.
So the last part, since I feel comfortable having watched all of this, and we didn't realize the level of complexity to this. We thought it was as straightforward as getting married. Then we notify them, and then she comes here. And we obviously know now that it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So I am in Arizona. How would I engage you?
Okay, sure. I wouldn't beat myself up over too much of that. They probably weren't going to give her a visit visa anyway. Most visit visas for single people, especially single women, especially from the Far East, those get denied all the time, right? So we handle immigration's federal. So we can handle, like, I couldn't do a car accident for you in Arizona. I couldn't do a will or something for you, but because immigration's federal, it's the same all the way. And that's especially true if you hire us, because you and I aren't going to have an interview in Arizona. The only interview is going to be for her in Thailand. So we do stuff for people all over the country. So all you have to do is email us, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Say, I was Michael. I was the first one on your show. And then we go from there.
Yes, I've already reached out to, is it Skyla?
Yeah.
There you go. So I'm in that process, but thank you for taking a moment to talk with me today.
Thanks, Michael. See you, buddy. I agree, Dammy. I don't think 10 years is that bad of an age gap. People who watch this show, 25, 30, we see that all the time. So, but I think it's still something they could ding him with a little bit. All right. There's our old friend Pat. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good, Jim. How are you?
Great. Good to see you. Have you been losing weight? You look skinnier.
Yes. So, Jim, I have a question. So, I don't know if you're aware about the Welcome Cup where green card holders or U.S. citizens sponsor family members abroad.
You're asking if I'm familiar with how people sponsor family members?
Yes, through the
Sure.
Welcome Cup.
Through what? Through what?
Welcome Cup.
Welcome Cup?
Yes.
I don't know what that is.
So it's about like it's a process where like permanent residents or U.S. citizens sponsors a refugee.
Okay. And
So
they're related to. So you're talking about like humanitarian parole for family members.
yes.
Yep.
So how does that process work?
I don't think that it does. I think it's all bullshit. I think that a lot of people have been promised a lot of things. Everyone I've heard from has been really stuck. I mean, you can certainly start the process and they can try to apply, but I think a lot of those cases are getting hung up and not getting processed at the embassies. So I think it's more of a promise than a real thing.
Okay, sounds good. And how much are the fees for I-485 presently? Currently?
The government fees?
Yes.
If you do everything, it's $3,005. So if because there's the I-45, I think that's like $1,500, and then it's $260 for the work card, and then the travel document is like $800. I don't know. I don't spend much time on all the fees.
Okay, sounds
but
good.
I know the total, if you do everything, is $3,005.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Bye, buddy. Good seeing you. All right, Donna's here giving big ups to all the Yardies and to me. She's having patties for lunch. Well, you gotta love that. You gotta love having some patties for lunch. What did I make yesterday? Ooh, I smoked some chicken wings yesterday. Everybody was really happy with that. Yusuf made some mac and cheese. He's got some crazy recipe for mac and cheese. Dak and Toll's wondering if we can help with their son there in their son asylum. Sure, just shoot us an email, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. All right. Princess Lizzie's having some other conversation over there. I don't know what's going on. TJ in the house. Hello, TJ.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great.
I'm doing good. So just a little background. My husband and I, we got married in August of 2023, and we did concurrent filing for the I-130 and the 485 in January. So just over the weekend, we received a notice of intent to deny.
Ooh, why?
And we don't know. They said that they needed more evidence from us.
Uh-huh.
We submitted the marriage certificate, photos, flight tickets, and bank statements because that's all that we had at the time.
Are you the foreign national or are you the beneficiary?
The foreign national.
Oh, sorry, that's the same thing. Okay, you're the foreign national. Okay, and what was your status at the time that you got married?
B1.
Okay, and so you submitted pictures, the wedding license. What else?
Flight tickets and bank statements.
Okay, and what about living situation? Lease, house, what?
No, well, now our living situation is pretty much everything is in my husband's name.
Yeah.
And he pays all of the bills. So what they're asking for now is pretty much proof that both of us pay the bills and both of us are on the vehicles, but we don't have that.
So why? Is it just because your husband's old fashioned and he wants to be in charge of everything, or what's the deal?
No, it's pretty much he makes enough to provide for us, so he does. And when we got married, he already had all of these things.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't.
You got your work card yet?
Yes.
Did you get a request for evidence first, or just a notice of intent to deny?
The only request for evidence that we got was for the medical, but no.
What country are you from?
Bahamas.
How long did you know your spouse before you got married?
We met in 2019.
When is oh, okay. And did you get married overseas or in America?
In America.
And how long after you arrived did you get married?
We got married while I was on a visit. And
how
then
long after you entered?
it was a few days.
So you
Oh,
knew
and by the way, we filed the 129 before, but because that was taking so long, we decided to withdraw that and get married to start the 130.
That's okay. That's that part's fine, but I'm a little bit worried about. So tell me the best you can. What date do you think you entered?
Date that I entered would have been maybe August 5th or 6th.
Okay, and then what was the date of your marriage?
August 11th.
So do you know about the 60-day rule?
I've heard about it, but I went back home since then. That I didn't come over and stay.
Oh, okay. So tell me about that. So you entered. Oh, are you overseas?
No, I'm in the US right now.
So walk me
But-
through. So you entered on August 5th or 6th. You got married on August 11th. Then when did you leave?
Maybe August 13th or so.
So you basically just came here, got married, and went home.
Yes.
Okay. And then what was when you came through that time? What did you tell them was the purpose of your visit?
I don't remember.
Did you
I don't even think they asked, honestly.
Okay. Then when did you come back?
I came back in October.
And then when did you filed in January?
Yes.
And you've been here ever since?
Yes.
So you waited to file at least 60 days after your entry.
Yes.
So that's an interesting question. Is it the act of marriage that gets you in trouble to demonstrate immigrant intent, or is it the act of filing? So had you been to the United States before on that visit visa?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, many times.
Okay. So they don't like your case. They want to deny your case. I think you need a lawyer's help to respond to the request for evidence and to explain why your timeline's a little bit off. It's not a timeline that they like or are used to. For all I know, their computer system says, like, what is the date of entry prior to getting married? Is August 5th. And then what is the date of marriage? August 11th. Oh, she got married 6 days after she entered. We're going to hold this case up for higher scrutiny, right? We think this is marriage fraud, right? So I think that you probably need help responding to the notice of intent to deny because you're going to need help developing more evidence. When is the deadline for the NOID?
It should be in 30 days because we got it on the 15th, July 15th.
Well, sometimes they give you 87 days. What does it say?
No, it says 30 days and 33 days if this notice was received by mail.
And that's for the I-130.
Correct.
So if I were you, what I would do is I would schedule a meeting with you and your husband and one of our lawyers and go from there. I think you need some help.
Okay. Because most of what they're asking for example, is joint insurances, which we have that.
Good.
The only thing that we don't have would be, well, we don't have any children. They're asking for if we have kids to provide birth certificates.
That's okay. But then, I mean, we have a much better list than they have. So there's going to be a lot more that you're going to want to submit. I would say, even if you don't hire us, the first thing you guys need to do is start putting your name on more stuff. Just because your husband has the financial ability to do it all on his own doesn't mean that's the right thing to do from an immigration standpoint. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay, so yeah, because I just was confused on what we can submit, seeing that they're asking for a lot of stuff to have both of our names.
So, like, I think you need affidavits from you and people that know that the marriage is real, that you're living together, all that stuff. I think they're not convinced and they got their knives out.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all the questions that I had.
Thanks, TJ.
Thank you.
Hey, kid. All right. Let's go to Kadisha. Hi, Kadisha.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I am good. Thank you. Okay, so quick question, right? So I got back my packet from USCIS because of payment issues that we were having with the credit card and so forth. They flag it. So USCIS sent back the packet, right?
You mean the credit card charge on the form that you filled out, it bounced, it didn't work?
It didn't work. They flagged it and said it was fraud.
Your credit card company did?
Yes, they did.
Got it.
Okay, so I noticed that UCIS sent back the packet, but when they sent back the packet, they have everything stapled together and everything, and they also opened the medical exam forms and stuff like that.
That sucks.
So yeah, so I'm wondering, they said to place this. They gave me a green piece of paper saying, place this letter on top of your new filing package.
Yep.
So because they have everything all stapled and so forth, and we resolve the payment, so we're going to send like the cashier's check this time instead of the credit card.
Good.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, right, if I should pull these apart or should I let it stay? And if I should redo the medical, or I should send back the medical just as is, because they have some barcodes and stuff on all of the pages.
So I don't think you have to take it all apart. I wouldn't take it all apart, but I would go. What I would do is I would go to your civil surgeon and say, "Hey, yo, they opened up the envelope by mistake over there at USCIS. Can you just give me the same report in a new sealed envelope and see what they say?" They might charge you $100 or a couple $100, but you shouldn't have to redo the whole medical.
Okay, gotcha. Because they have the medical here, but they open it and they have some stuff written on it, and it's also at the back. So you're saying I should just go to the civil servant and have her just do one over and just reseal it, seal it, and then send it in along with the payment, and just keep everything as is, as how it is right now that they sent it?
That's what we do.
Okay. Okay, so for the last question, so for the top part where they say this doesn't grant any immigration status, and they give you like the reason, and it says applicant copy.
Yes.
Should I take, since they say it's applicant's copy, should I just take those?
Yeah, you don't have to.
Stapled file.
You don't have to send that one back. No, keep that with you.
Okay, so keep all the paper that notify me to say this is applicant's copy.
Except for that green sheet.
Okay, thank you, Jim.
All right, good luck, Adisha. See you, kid.
Except for the green sheet.
Yep.
Thank you.
Right.
I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye. All right, Donna's always out there checking out the yardies. Mohammed's here. Hello, buddy.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Never thought I could say politics in the U.S. would be entertaining, but here I am.
Can you believe it? Did we talk? I guess we talked about, yeah, because we didn't do a show yesterday. So the last time we talked, Biden was still running, right?
Yeah, we talked on Friday, and at the end of Friday's show, I concluded with the phrase, "May Allah help us," and I think Allah sent us a good sign.
I think you're right. I think we were doomed before that.
Mm-hmm. I have a video idea for you today.
Oh, great! I'm writing them down. Go ahead.
I have been watching the show for a while, and I have been noticing that callers have been coming in who have been documentarily qualified for a while at the embassy in Nairobi, Kenya. And my video idea for you would be to maybe record a video and let people know that the Department of State publishes a table that shows a list of all of the embassies and the number of immigrant visas that all of the embassies have issued in a particular month.
Yeah,
do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. If you want to send me that link, I'll put it in the comments.
Sure. I'll send the link to you to your email.
Great, because my friend Curtis, he loves to use those stats in his lawsuits and to make fun of the State Department. So that's great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'll send it to your email. But the reason I bring it up is because when I look at Nairobi, Kenya in particular, for May 2024, Nairobi issued 213 diversity visas, but Nairobi only issued 51 IR1 visas.
It's terrible.
So Nairobi right now is focusing on diversity visas as opposed to the immediate relative visas. Right. So that might explain why people have been waiting at Nairobi for a while after having been documentarily qualified to be scheduled for the interview.
Yeah, I mean, I
Mhm.
agree, and I appreciate the explanation, Mohammed. I mean, I would
Mhm.
say that they should be able to walk and chew gum at the same time. So I not that you were doing this, but I
Mm.
always hate pitting different immigrant groups against each other,
Yeah.
but it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It definitely is ridiculous, but it might help people understand
Yeah.
why some embassies are taking a while with IR visas, and just thought it would help out the community.
Thanks, buddy.
And if you don't mind, I have to make you laugh before I go away.
All right.
When we talked on Friday, it was the orange idiot against grandpa.
Yes,
Grandpa against the orange idiot.
that's right.
And now grandpa has officially retired and he has gone to bed. So now I'm wondering who is the old one now running for president?
That's right. He's literally the oldest presidential nominee in the history of our country.
And grandpa, by the way, was also the boyfriend of Israel. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
it'll be interesting. Thanks, buddy. Bye, Mohammed.
Bye bye. Have a good one, man.
See you,
Salam
buddy.
alaikum.
Walaikum salam. See ya. All right, there's our friend Jonas. Hey, Jonas, how you doing, man?
Hey Jim,
I
I'm
know,
good, brother.
I know, I owe you an
I
email. I know, I owe you an email. Is that why you're calling?
no. So I'm actually responding to some of the email. I think I did send you an email, but you're good. You're good.
Okay.
So one of my questions was with our case. So you said to get an attorney specifically to get rid of the convictions in the past.
I'm gonna try to find you one. Yep.
So one of my and also we want to work with you. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's another thing too. So with the convictions, do you know the timeline typically on how long that takes versus obviously going through like your I-130 and getting processed? What is
Well,
the
I mean,
attorney?
the I-130 has already been approved, so what we're talking about is a 45, but you don't want to start the 45 process too early because you don't want them to make a decision while that thing's still on the record, so on her record. So what I was thinking was it depends. It's a conviction that nobody's really going to care about,
Right.
but the problem is I don't know who the prosecutor is currently in that county. If there's some hard ass, who really wants to make life difficult for everybody and screw every immigrant they can, then it can be almost a non-starter. But usually on something small like she has, it's just a matter of, you find the attorney who you find the defense attorney who has the most respect in that county, who's friends with the prosecutor, and you ask them to help them do a favor to try to undo those convictions.
Okay. And then my next question was, since we have a date on the parole in place is it August 19th, I believe?
Yeah.
Is that something we should wait for or no?
We should get started right away. I'll get back to you by tomorrow.
Okay. Yes, sir. That's it, man. Thank you, brother.
Bye, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
See you. All right. That's our friend Jonas. Yeah, so it will be an interesting time. Kamala raised about $53 million yesterday. I think it broke Act Blue, which is where they do a lot of that fundraising. I think there's going to be real excitement for the Democrats. I think that it'll be interesting to see the convention, and I think Republicans were counting on, if Biden steps down. Well, first of all, I don't think the Republicans were really ready for this because, of course, Donald Trump could never think of doing something as selfless as Joe Biden. Joe Biden stepped down for the good of the country because he cared more about defeating Donald Trump than about his own chances to be president, which we haven't really seen that from a politician in a really long time. They said on Morning Joe this morning that there was a politician in Maryland who used to say the only cure for politicians' ambitions is embalming fluid, which is what you put in someone after they're dead. So that was an interesting thing to see someone say they know they're going to lose. I mean, as I mentioned the other day, we have a family member who's older. We've been trying to get their car keys away from them, right? Because they're older and they shouldn't be driving. So here you're talking about getting the keys to the White House, the most powerful position on earth, for someone to voluntarily give that up when they had the nomination in the bag, it's a selfless act. But Joe Biden is a real hero in my book. You know, he's lived through tragedy. He knows how the world really works, and he understands the true threat that Donald Trump really is. I heard that Donald Trump won't debate Kamala because he's too scared, because he's a criminal and a felon and a groper and a pervert and a terrible, terrible human being. So Yappering is going away now. Goodbye, Yappering. We're not going to listen to ban user and delete their comments. I'm not listening to Trump stuff or anti-Kamala stuff. And those people don't have to watch the show. So I'm excited. I'm going to do everything I can to try to help her get elected. I'm going to try to raise money for her. We'll probably have a fundraiser on this very program at some point for Kamala to see what we can do to try to help her get elected. Somebody said that it's up to 80 million, 81 million. Do I think she's going to win? I think it's going to be hard. I think Trump is going to cheat. I think the Republicans in various secretaries of states in the states are going to cheat. Apparently, it's not too late to get her on the ballot in all 50 states, which makes me happy. And I have to think that they knew that when they were sort of giving Biden a deadline about debate about dropping out. I'm super excited. I haven't been this excited about the presidential prospects in a long time. My wife, Amani, was really touched. She said, you know, in countries like Egypt where she grew up, no one would ever do what Joe Biden did. They would just get the military and take over like Donald Trump tried to do on January 6th. Samil is here. Hi, Samil.
Hi, Mr. Jack Hacking.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I am a physician and a research fellow. I get my green card 2 years ago with NIHW Nation Interest Waiver. Also, my family, my wife and 2 kids get their green card. And I'm planning to apply citizenships in 3 years. So my question is, I have a job offer from Canada for the next year. This is a 1-year fellowship program. If I accept, I will gonna work 1 year next year. But I have some concerns that I can lose my green card and I can get like trouble situation, you know, for the applying to United States citizenship application. So can you give me some advice and guidance about that? It's near the United States border. It's in Hamilton. It's very near to Buffalo. If I can, for example, I think that if I can lease a home in Buffalo and go back and forth every weekend, is it a possibility that I can save all these situations?
What country are you originally from?
I'm from Turkey.
Okay. And were you really, really happy when you got your green card?
Yeah, I'm happy.
No, were you really, really happy when you got your green card? Like, did you feel a big sense of relief when you got your green card? Like,
yes, definitely. Yeah, I found a job, and
is your plan to stay in the United States and, like you said,
yes. My wife also a physician. She's working. I have 2 kids. We want to continue in the United States.
Is it hard to find another job in America?
Yes, actually, in my situation, they are not accepting. This is a different topic, but they are not accepting non-US IMGs a lot. It's hard to find, but there is some possibilities I can find. But this is the only option right now I found.
Okay, so first of all, there's something called the reentry permit. So. But it doesn't sound like you're going to have any big, long time away from the United States, right? You're just going to go during the week. So you'd sleep in Canada on weeknights and basically at home on the weekends. You know, obviously not every single week, but that's sort of the plan.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. So, and this would be for 1 calendar year?
Yes, 1 year. It's a 1-year job, and then I will come back to the United States.
Okay. And so, so it's interesting. So, well, first of all, it'll probably slow down your ability to apply for citizenship. If your wife stays in, is your wife going to stay in the United States, or
yes, she's going to stay. I have 2 boys as well. They are going to stay in the United States as well.
So all the green card holders, but you are going to stay. I would say they already have their green cards, right? Your wife and the kid.
Yes, they got, like, we get all four together.
So the only wild card here to me is Trump. So if Trump gets elected, who knows what in the hell he's going to do with the border and with people. I mean, I don't think there's much he can do. If you're asking me, Jim, if you had a magic wand, what would you make happen? If I had a magic wand, I'd have you find a job in the United States and not mess with this Canada thing.
I see.
But if in normal times, I think that your wife would be able to get her citizenship faster because she's not going to have, 5 times 250 days out of the United States. Because, when you're waiting for your citizenship, you have good days and bad days. A good days inside the United States, a bad days out. So she's going to have more good days towards her 5 years faster than you will, I think.
Yes.
But maybe not. This is like a math problem, and but if you have one bad year, as long as you don't have any breaks of 6 months, I think actually you'll have 4 years of good time, right? So no, I don't think it'll affect things. I think it's basically okay.
Okay. Yeah. So that's my worry. Like, so I'm planning to go there 1 year. And also there is some applications you said, like re-entry things. But I don't know. It's a little bit complicated situation,
I mean, if that's the best thing you got going, then I think is your wife going to be living in the Buffalo house, or is she going to be living somewhere else?
No, she's living in Atlanta, in Georgia. So now still I'm working in Pittsburgh. She's in Atlanta. But and at that time she's still gonna live in Atlanta. I'm gonna go to Buffalo, and then Canada. Then we are trying to figure out to get somewhere else together.
I would say try to avoid this if you can, but if you have to, you have to.
Okay. So my question is it like a possibility that I can live in the Canada, and there's like 54 weeks in a year?
52, yeah.
52, yeah. So I can go like Friday to Sunday to Buffalo, and then go to work like in the weekdays, and then work there, and then come back. Is it like meaning that make a trouble or jeopardize my United States citizenship application? That's my question.
No, as long as you don't have any trips longer than 6 months. If you're talking 5-day trips, I mean, one thing, Samil, that you need to make sure of is I would have a spreadsheet and start keeping track of every day you're in and out and where you go from now until you get ready to apply for citizenship. But 5-day trips are never going to hurt your time for citizenship. Now, if you did it for 5 years, that would hurt your time for citizenship. But as long as you don't have a 6-month stay outside the United States, you'll be okay.
Okay. So what if I just to go there and then live it 1 year in the Canada and come back without, going back and forth to the United States?
So that would break your residency, and that would make citizenship harder. You'd have to wait 4 years and a day after that, and you'd have to prove that you didn't abandon your residency. So I would say no.
Okay.
All right. Thanks, Samil.
Thank you so much.
Bye, buddy. Good luck.
Bye.
All right. Donna's asking what time's the show tomorrow. She's at the patty shop getting ready to leave. What time tomorrow? Let's see. 3? Let me take a look. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Although I might move it to 1. No, I'm meeting with Adela. Oh, I forgot to. Oh, I got to do that. Okay. Yeah, it'll be 3 o'clock tomorrow. Let me add myself to that meeting with Adela. All right. Thanks for asking, Donna. That cleared things up. All right. Halatu, hello.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing? Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam rahmatullah. So I have a question. The situation is with my husband.
Okay.
I filed for him and he came, and then he got his visa on February 7th. And then we paid the fees for the green card.
The LSC, yeah.
Yes, on the 22nd, and then he got here on March 9th. but till today we haven't received his green card yet. And after 90 days, we call USCIS, and they said they're gonna send us a notice, and then they're gonna send the green card, but they haven't. After another month, the 4th month, we called them again, and they email us and said we're gonna receive the green card within 45 days. And then this weekend we received a letter from USCIS saying he has to go do his fingerprints. We still haven't received the green card yet. So my question is like, what does that mean?
That's weird. Has he ever
It is
been?
weird.
Has he ever been in the United States before now?
No, he hasn't.
And where does he live? Like, where will he do his fingerprinting?
We live in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we
Well,
live.
I wouldn't. I mean, obviously, I wish you'd gotten your green card, but I wouldn't be too mad about the fingerprint notice. I would use that instead as an opportunity to go find out what in the hell's going on. You're not supposed to get fingerprinted for your green card. So I would go down there and say, you guys are a bunch of morons. Why am I being fingerprinted? I should have got my green card 2 months ago, and I want to see a supervisor.
Okay.
And, you know, the biometrics department is usually separate from the USCIS people. Say, I want to see the field office director. I want to know what in the heck is going on and why this is taking so long.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Because like I was wondering, like I'm like, okay, why do they need to do that?
What country is he from?
He's from his paper's from Paris. He's from France.
Has he ever had any kind of crimes?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let us know how it goes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
All right. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Hello.
Hey, Jim. I'm very happy to get to speak with you today. I appreciate all you do for the community.
Sure.
I have a small question for a friend who's doing an I-130 and an I-45. He's in the United States. He filed in January of 2023, and he just got an RFE to submit extra evidence. And my questions are, is that odd to get an RFE? And the second question is that for the sworn affidavit, do they need to be notarized?
USCIS won't consider affidavits that aren't notarized. It's as if somebody made up an imaginary friend. So they're pretty worthless unless they're notarized. What was your friend's status before they applied for the green card?
So he did F1 and was on OPT.
F1 and on OPT. So always in status.
Always in status, yes.
Okay. And did a lawyer file their case or did they file it on their own?
I think they filed it on their own.
What marriage evidence did they submit originally in support of the application?
I believe marriage pictures with family. They literally had just moved in together. So they got married and then moved in together. So then they submitted like a lease and then maybe like a few evidence. Now they have a lot more, obviously, like bank accounts and all that stuff. So that's what I kind of told him, to reassure him that they probably just want the updated evidence.
Does he have, you guys have our marriage evidence list? I can send it to you.
I really much appreciate that, yes.
Yeah, send us an email. Just say, I'm a longtime listener. I was on the show and I need, or have your friend email us, info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Anybody who wants it can just ask that and we'll email it to you, the marriage evidence list. Sounds like they just need to do a better job of submitting stuff and proving it up.
Okay, thank you. That's all I had.
Thanks for watching. Yeah. All right, listen, our friend Tony says, I want to be like Benson and depose a field office director. Now, the question is, does Tony want a field office director to be deposed more or belly dancing? That's the question, because Tony's always on me about the belly dancing. I've never taken the oh, wait, that's not true. I have taken deposition of a field office director, and I have taken the deposition of the Texas Service Center. That was really fun. Texas? Yeah, Texas. That was fun. I wish I could take more depositions. That's what I would do all day long. I wish I could take some more depositions. Douglas in the house.
Yeah, good afternoon, Jim. Thank you for having us. We are your long-term listener. So
thanks for watching.
You're welcome. And before I was F1 student, but my wife filed for me on December 13. So until now, we didn't get nothing from the USCIS. So,
Hi, Jimmy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. We are a long time listener to you. Do you mind? Can you please take off from the camera, please?
Off camera.
Thank you.
So let's start over. So who's the beneficiary?
Actually, I'm filing for my husband.
Okay, and so are you already married?
Yeah, we have been married since last year.
Okay, and why haven't you filed yet?
Okay, we already filed. So the situation, my husband didn't really explain it well. Let me explain the situation.
Yeah.
So he came here as an F1 student, and he already finished all the way until his master's degree.
Okay.
So we got married last year. Before that, he obtained his work authorization, and he was working. Well, he was working at. Well, let me explain that he actually just got a job within the cybersecurity, but unfortunately, he just lost his job because, before the marriage, he got a work authorization, which was like after college. They gave him a work authorization to work within a 1 year time to actually find a job within the field he came here for. That was before we got married. So after the marriage, we filed our application, but we still haven't heard from them yet. We filed it since last year, I think around November, but we haven't got any information. However, around December, they sent us information that they were missing some document for our I-130 application. So we are guessing that I forgot to send for some reason I forgot to send the copy of my citizenship. So once we send that over, that was like since last year December till now, we haven't heard anything. And the situation is that we just gave birth and I have a new baby. So he got a new job within the cybersecurity, but unfortunately they couldn't help him. He couldn't hold the position because his work authorization, which he obtained from his status as an F1 student, is expiring in September.
Okay.
So we don't know. I called immigration last week. So I spoke with the lady and I explained her my concern that basically I need my husband to keep this job because we have a newborn baby and he's helping me financially to pay the bill, and we haven't heard anything.
Let's back up. What's the receipt date on the I-130 and the 485?
December 13.
December 13.
When did they issue the request for evidence?
December 24th.
Something like that.
So 11 days after you filed, they sent you a request for evidence saying you didn't send us enough evidence.
Yes, I think it was relating to birth certificate.
That was the only thing they asked for?
Well, they didn't really say, but we assume because I just remember that I forgot to put a copy of my naturalization.
Well, was it a request for evidence? Was it a notice of intent to deny? What was it?
They just said we didn't provide enough information. They didn't really specify which was the
RIF. Yeah, RIF, request for evidence.
Okay, and how long did it take for you to reply?
15 days. We sent back on January 11.
Have you been fingerprinted?
Yes.
Okay, and when did you do your fingerprints?
That was back in November or December.
December, the end of December.
Before you got the RFE or after?
Before.
And so basically you haven't heard anything since you responded to the RFE?
No.
Do you have proof that the RFE was delivered?
Yes. They did mention that they did send us emails that they received it.
Yeah, on January 26th.
And so you've been without a work authorization from that since then?
Yes. Well, he still had the work authorization from his
Right. The work authorization off the adjustment of status, though, you haven't gotten that.
Yeah.
No. And we haven't approved I-132. So.
Okay, so I understand. What's your question for me?
So we don't know what is the next. So what do you really advise us to do at this point to expedite the process?
Well, I would suggest if you have it, that you send me the request for evidence. Did you keep a copy of what you submitted in response to the request for evidence?
Okay.
Yes.
Can you email that to me?
Sure.
Okay, no problem.
And then I'll tell you my thoughts.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. I do have a second question, if you don't mind, please.
Okay.
and that will be for my parents. So basically, my mom and my dad were granted with the U.S. green card. The only issue is that for some reason they made a mistake on my dad green card. So they say he was born in Paris, which was not his country born on his green card. And before they send the green card, we did call the immigration and would let them know that he was not born in Paris. He was born in a different country. So I don't know what you suggest us to do right now. Should we?
Why do they think he was born in Paris?
I have no idea. He has no document from Paris.
How did you know that they thought he? Why did you think to call them to say, "Hey, he's not born in Paris"?
Because they sent an email to my sister. She's the one who actually filed for our parents.
Yeah.
So they state in that email before they send the green card. So that's how we found out before like the green card arrived. And when we called them and we let them know that there's a mistake on the file, so they say like they still send us the one with the wrong birth control.
How much time between when you called them and when they issued the green card?
It was about three months, I think so, 2 to 3 months, something like that.
Okay, and when you look at the paperwork, do you have a copy of what your sister submitted with as far as where your dad was born?
Yes, we do.
And you didn't say Paris? That's a mistake they made up all on their own?
Yeah, and they did like say that it was a mistake. Yeah.
Okay, so then you need to dad has his physical green card?
Yes, we have that physical green card.
So you need to file an I-90 and tell them to correct it. Don't send the old green card until they ask for it later.
Okay.
And tell them you don't have to pay because it was their mistake.
Okay.
But then you have to convince them that it was their mistake. You have to prove it was their mistake.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Guys. Yep. See you.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye. Abiola's here. Hello, Abiola. You're on mute.
Hi, Jim.
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm fine. Like, I've been a long time listener of your program.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. So, a very quick one. I have this situation. It's basically on H1B. So sometimes in 2022, I file. My employer filed an H1B for me,
Okay.
but the H1B was denied, and we then file a motion to reopen and reconsider.
What was the basis of the denial?
Okay, the basis of the denial is as a result of educational. I think let me just read it. Accordingly, on the basis of the position educational requirement alone, you have not established that the position is in a specialty occupation.
That's one of their favorite denial reasons. Yep.
So the position is a software developer application. I have a computer science degree, but as part of the minimum requirements, the Anthony actually made a mistake by mentioning disparate degrees that are different from, the one my employers actually, stated. So the minimum degree requirement is just supposed to be computer science or engineering or related degrees. But the Anthony mentioned business. So then they were like, understand computer science, and we understand a related degree to a software developer position. But business and engineering is a deeper degree. Like,
I got it. Okay, I got it. So what's the question?
So now my question is, we filed the MTR, a motion to reopen and reconsider since November 2022.
Wow.
And up till now, no, outside the fact that just acknowledge the fact that they received the motion that we filed, but up till now they've not responded. So I'm just wondering, is there anything that can be done at this moment, or I should just forget about the whole?
Well, I'd like to see the motion to reopen. Can you send it to me?
Okay, to send it to you, right?
Yeah, email it to me, and then I'll take a look at it. Okay.
Okay. Now, so I think I think I will just send you the motions to reopen. So, and then we take it off from there.
Thanks, Abiola. See you, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, I think we have time for one more. Siona, hello, Siona.
Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for this. I have two questions for you. One is for my mom. I'm a US citizen and I'm petitioning for her. So I filed the form I-130 around this time last year. And so I'm just waiting for an approval for that. And she has been in the States via the ISTA visa. And I was wondering if there are any like limitations to the number of visits that she can make while we are in the process of petitioning.
So, when did mom enter? Mom entered on ESTA?
Yes.
When did she enter?
She has been to the States 3 times. The most recent one was she just left yesterday. And she's been here 3 times at a 3 months time period per each visit.
And you're a U.S. citizen, right?
Yes.
So why did mom leave? Why didn't mom just apply for a green card?
Well, she wasn't so ready to like stay here. We didn't want to go over the 3 months period.
That's fine. That's so so you filed 1 year ago now? So like you filed in July of 2023?
Yes.
Have they ever given her any trouble when she enters on ESTA?
No.
Okay, and so the I-130 is still pending at USCIS?
Yes.
So that'll probably get approved in the next month or two.
That's what I'm hoping.
And so what's the question?
So I know the next step is like working with the visa center.
Right.
And I am not sure how long that's gonna take. So we are just trying to figure out like when she's gonna visit next if the green card doesn't get processed sooner.
Yeah, so if I had to, what country is mom's passport from?
South Korea.
So I'm thinking 2 more months for USCIS, 4 to 5 months at National Visa Center, and then waiting for a interview in Seoul is probably another 5 or 6 months. Other people might have comments as far as how I think Korea is pretty fast. So I think she's probably still a year to a year and 3 months away from getting the green card.
So is it okay for her to like keep visiting via?
ESTA is for the purpose of visiting. She has said she wants to live and reside in the United States. So any CBP official could revoke her ESTA and send her back home. That's pretty rare. That doesn't happen that much. But it is possible. So I would say if she's going to come, maybe have her come one more time and that's it.
Okay. So then if we want her to stay here with us, it's better to do this change of status and have her stay.
Well, that's tricky because when you enter, I mean, we've handled that case many, many times. That is a case. She can't have the intent to do that when she enters the United States. If she intends to do that, if you enter on ESTA with the plan of filing for adjustment, then you can get in big trouble for that. So that's not good.
Okay.
But you can have all the intent you want because you're already the U.S. citizen. It's all about her intent. So let's walk it through. Let's say that she gets the I-130 approved 2 months from now, and then let's say she comes to the United States 2 months after that. If she waits 60 days after she enters, she could apply for adjustment and do it that way.
And then she will just have to stay until that.
Well, she could apply for advanced parole, but I would want her to stay until she actually gets the green card. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's safer to just stay outside of the U.S. after that one more visit.
If it were my mom, I would probably have her come on the visit, hang out for a while, and then apply for the green card. That's what I would do.
Oh, so while she's in the U.S.
And then stay the whole time. Now, if mom wants to go, I have a video on my YouTube channel. It's called "Mom Doesn't Really Want That Green Card," and usually the moms get mad because the kids apply for the green card too early, and mom wants to go back to South Korea to see her friends and feed her dog and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I gotta go. So I'm out of time.
Okay, thanks,
Fiona. Okay, have a good day. All right, everybody, that'll do it for today's show. Like I said, when Donna asked, we'll be back tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central. Have a great day, and we'll see you then. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in the state of